Hello again, and welcome back to Session 2, Learning and Teaching Styles. The students we meet are gems in the raw as they wait to be polished by us. The timid or the bold, the coarse in the mold shine as a teacher's love unfolds. That is a bit of my mantra about students. And today we continue about me, my learning and teaching styles. And I put learning first because for me, my learning developed into my teaching styles. So how do I learn? If I'm in a class and a teacher goes to the board or says to the class, these are the parts of a plant: the roots, the trunk, the leaves, the flowers, the fruit. My mind says, okay. But my mind is thinking, I wonder what those things do. What do they mean to the plant and to the growth and successful growth of the plant? So lists are not the nicest way, the best way for me to learn. If the teacher, however, as one of my teachers did when I was about 8 or 9, if the teacher took me into a little field, a little garden, and had me dig up some plants and examine the part that was in the soil, the part that grew out of the ground, the green parts, and asked me what did I think they were, I was more inclined to remember and understand how each part affected the plant and made its growth successful. So my learning style was one where I needed an explanation, a reason, a relationship of the things that were going to be taught that day in order to get clarity. I needed to get that clarity first because I didn't want to memorize. I didn't want to memorize. As a teacher, I felt that there were students who would feel the same way I did if I came out and started doing lists and just telling them before giving examples. Again, that is my deductive style, which I stress down. Let's do the inductive. Let's discover, let's explore, let's experiment, and let's relate one part to the other and see reason and explanation in order to understand how things work. So my learning style was one where I could experiment and investigate and almost do a project-like approach, problem solving to the learning experience. When I'm teaching, I try to do the same thing. Now, in any random class, there would be students who really do not want to be bothered with the experiment. There are those. Just give me the list and let's get over with it. However, if we put them in appropriate groupings and assign appropriate tasks, we can start according to their ability or even what they preferred to do to assign tasks. They would get it and they would fall into line and realize that the dialogue and the co-respondence and the communication between members of a group would do much more for their learning than anything else, and therefore much more for their understanding. Learning styles and teaching styles. Now that's it from a practical perspective. We do have words that we can attach to learning styles. For example, I am a random learner. A teacher can start teaching in sequence, or can teach all over the place, and it's fine by me. I would still understand because my brain starts putting the parts together anyway. So I can learn randomly. But I also like the concrete. I want to see it and feel it and touch it to make that connection. So we can learn randomly, we can learn concretely. Concrete, random. Some people are abstract learners. You don't have to give them any concrete, tangible examples for them to understand. You can just continue with the abstract way of teaching. I can say the formula for finding perimeter is 2 length plus 2 width. Twice the length plus 2 times the width, and I'm going to get the answer. And that student who can learn in the abstract can take that formula and expound it to a real life perimeter of a rectangle. So some learners are concrete, random, some are abstract, and some are very sequential. For some students, you must put things in a list in order for them to see the relationship. So as a teacher, we have to give them everything they want. We know what our learning styles are, and we must provide the students ours and theirs. We've got to do the whole. So we must go in places that are uncomfortable for us, places that provide a little bit of discomfort because it's not our thing. We must make it our thing in order for our students to get the full benefit of our teaching and learning styles. Do we know as individuals what ours is? I may be talking to teachers apparently, but I'm also talking to parents who are the ultimate teachers. The home is the supreme classroom. There is a lot of learning going on in the home. So much learning goes on in the kitchen, at the basketball hoop where we play in the afternoon, in the yard where we jump rope, at the hopscotch thing, we do the hopscotch. You know, we draw that. Learning is taking place. What are we learning? We're learning to count, skip count, probability with our basketball. We know we can shoot consistently so many out of 10 without letting us formally be introduced to probability. We can predict through our own experiments our basketball posture. 70%, 7 out of 10.7. We can do that. In the kitchen, we're making cookies. We can bring the children in and measure and complete the process, do the recipe using cups and ounces and spoons and tablespoons. That is a learning opportunity. So the home is a supreme learning ground. And so to parents who may be listening, that also is a ripe area where we can continue to be teachers. You don't have to be a formal teacher, but know that you are always teaching by example, by the things we do, by the things we say. So we're doing some moral teaching and some formal educational teaching, informally, organized, unorganized, it's all teaching and learning. So we do need to know our learning styles and how we translate that into our teaching styles. And I thank you for listening. Send in your questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.